Hi there, I'm Timothy Linsdau, video producer, Christian, a Boy Scouter, and a Kiwanian, keeping busy in my so-called retirement time. Hey, what's going on in the country? It says industry seems to be coming back to the U.S., to the Rust Belt, to the Midwest, the de-industrialized part of the country that Obama had said would probably not happen again. Something's going on. Things are coming alive. Is it just us, or is it our impeached president? Okay, now we know what's going on in the news with impeachment, and that's another story. But has President Trump done some things that have improved things? Is there evidence for that? Well, let's take a look. 30 miles west of Cleveland, along the Lake Erie shoreline, is a town called Lorraine, Ohio. It's famous for the birthplace of Toni Morrison, who was a Pulitzer Prize author. Lorraine was once a bustling steel town that drew people from all over the country, lots of manufacturing and work, good pay. Even the high school football team were called the Steelmen. But today, like many Rust Belt towns, it had showed signs of decay, worn out houses, run-down places, vacant businesses, places covered in graffiti, the usual mess you see. So what was going on? Well, thanks to the exodus of manufacturing jobs in the United States under NAFTA, Lorraine was struggling long before the economic crisis of 2008. In 2000, the per capita income in Lorraine was about $16,000 a year. 17% of the residents lived below the poverty line. But after Trump announced a 25% tariff on steel and a 10% tariff on aluminum beginning in March 2018, the people of Lorraine got a bit of good news. Republic Steel, whose Lorraine mill had gone idle in 2016, announced it was coming back, promising 1,000 jobs. Production is slated to begin this spring. Now, Republic is prepared to respond quickly to the anticipated uptick of demand across the nation, Ted Thielens, a representative for Republic Steel, said. Now, this could result in a Republic bringing back 1,000 jobs or more to Lorraine. Now, Republic anticipates that it would take a few months to hire the people they need and get training and idle equipment started up again. Also, it's affected other, parallel businesses such as coal, railroad, and other things will also start to come in. Now, Republic Steel wasn't alone. In 2018, Charter Steel, a Wisconsin-based company, opened a $150 million mill in Cuyahoga Heights, Ohio, a modest suburb in Cleveland's working-class South Side. Now, John Mellows, Charter CEO, cited Ohio's strong workforce and positive business climate in the Trump era. Now, you won't read in the New York Times, but business owners in Ohio are reporting 2019 as their best year in recent memory. Now, why New York Times isn't reporting that, I don't know. John Kinney, a lifelong resident of Lorraine County, Ohio, is the owner of a recruiting company called Preston Staffing. He places workers in jobs in manufacturing companies, tier automotive suppliers, tool and die, aluminum, specialized machining and heating and cooling. Some steel workers, also UAW, talk about the American renewal. Some are unionized, some are not. Regardless of the type of manufacturing work, Kenny said the past 4 months have been the most productive at Preston Staffing since he and his partner started the company in 2016. Now, the numbers back him up. In August 2019, Ohio's unemployment rate was 4%. Now, from what I best understand, you get down to that level, you're running out of people to hire. According to the Department of Jobs and Family Services, that's less than half the unemployment rate of 10 years ago. In July 2009, a few months after President Obama promised to create more jobs with this shovel-ready program, more than 10% of Ohioans were unemployed. Now, what is better, government jobs or private industry? The government jobs mean the money is coming out of your pocket to make that work. They're taking it from one group and giving it to another, where private business enterprise builds wealth from producing things, making things. There have been more opportunities to grow a strong economy, Kenny said, replacing people in good-paying, middle-class manufacturing jobs, instead of focusing on bringing those jobs back. According to them, the Democrats have gone wrong by trying too hard to establish a socialist society instead. As some would say, a welfare state. I would think for the well-being of most people, being able to work for your income would be far more appreciated. One of the Democratic front-runners for president in 2020, Bernie Sanders, is an open socialist and supports this type of socialist idea. Andrew Yang proposed a universal basic income and guaranteed government jobs as the solution to middle-class strife. Well, I remember something said by a Soviet Russian at the time of the Soviet USSR. He said, well, when asked about their economy, he says, well, they pretended to pay us and we pretended to work. And I think that is the result of what happens when you're trying to solve things with a socialist system. As Margaret Thatcher once said, socialism great until you run out of other people's money. Ironically enough, Trump's policies have benefited the people Democrats claim to champion. The working poor and people of color, especially Latinos. Lorraine, where Republic Steel is planning to open and is a direct result of Trump's tariffs, has the largest Hispanic population in the state of Ohio. More than a quarter of residents are Latino, many of them descendants of Puerto Rican laborers who migrated to Lorraine to work in the steel mills originally after World War II and during World War II. Now, whether they love Trump or hate him, it's hard to imagine that Lorraine's Latinos won't benefit from an additional 1,000 jobs and an uptick in economic productivity in their struggling city. Nationwide, the Hispanic unemployment rate in September 2019 was 3.9%, which is what the mainstream is. The unemployment rate for black Americans is an all-time low of 5.5%. Now compare that to 2010, when the Hispanic and black unemployment rates were 13 and 16% respectively. Now, Obama's promise of shovel-ready jobs provided by the government is a distant memory that never materialized. Politicians, love to promise things to get themselves elected. An official of the White House paper on Trump's trade policies put it, President Donald J. Trump is ensuring the forgotten Americans are forgotten no more. The president promised to lift America's poorest citizens off the sidelines, out of the margins, and back into the workforce. The numbers don't lie. Democrats running for president in 2016 can't dispute that in many ways the economy looks better than ever for those at the bottom of the economic ladder, especially African American and Hispanic workers. All they have to offer these voters is woke cultural politics. Now, in terms of real-world solutions, Democrats have offered much to anyone, aren't offering much to anyone because the promise of a guaranteed government job and a check every month. Well, I understand that politicians and they're wanting to have 2 chickens in every pot and maybe 2 Cadillacs in every garage. Anything to get elected. But what happens afterwards? Trump's effort, I think, you think about this. The man's, 70 years old when he's running. He's got all the money in the world. He's got a great family. He's got everything anybody would ever want. Television show, a record-breaking television show. And all of a sudden he goes, I don't like the way the country's looking. It doesn't look good, and somebody needs to do something about it. And he did. Got up on that stage, beat every other campaign into the ground, and got elected president, and is doing a lot since. Why our division has to be so ignorant, I don't know, but I have some ideas that they're fundamental. Democrats do not want to let go of that sacred cow of abortion and being able to kill your baby legally, and others of the left that they like. And I'm sorry that it's that way. I really am. I really am. I hope we come to our senses again. So there you are. Things are looking better in the Midwest and the Rust Belt. Things are coming back. And there's even a story about a Chinese billionaire that built the glass plant in Ohio also. So it's coming back in that form. What an amazing thing. So, hey, thanks for watching. Like and comment my videos, subscribe to my channel, and just get out there in this new economy and make it a great day.